In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA bets for Sunday, February 23rd. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our February 23rd NBA slate we got going on. Before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget about Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetShetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 9.3 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we're well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you are subscribed, continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm so we grow to a much broader audience. All right, now if you signed up for the Patreon, there's a little bit of a glimpse here, some of the tickets that we had last night and the camaraderie that we have in the group chat. We had Mr. Maine here. Mr. Maine Harris came through with a nice double up parlay with the Washington Wizards, Jalen Duren, and the under on Steph Curry. Our main play right here was the Golden State Warriors, one of our main plays here, and that cashed for a -130. And then we have support going through this chat day in and day out. All right, we're getting to the bag, getting to the money. It's not just me, it's everyone in this community right now. So you sign up right now in that description link provided down below. Get connected. You're getting access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. In TD Garden here, we have the Boston Celtics 40-16 going up against the New York Knicks 37-19. Looking at the current odds for this game here, Celtics home favorites at a -325, Knicks with the +260 on the comeback, point spread at an 8.5, total points at 231.5. Looking at the public bet percentage here, 91% of the bets, 88% of the money on the side of Boston for the point spread, 67% of the bets, 73% of the money towards Boston to cover, and for the total points, 83% of the bets and 81% of the money towards the over 231.5. Looking at the injury report here for these two teams, we have some key injuries here on the New York Knicks side. OG Anunoby was good to go in the previous game. He's a game time decision. Hopefully he can give it a go. And Josh Hart, he's dealing with a little bit of knee soreness. Hopefully he can give it a go in this particular game because the Knicks absolutely need their core five going all at once right now. They need the total camaraderie for this team because they've been getting embarrassed lately by top tier talent. All right. And this is one of those matchups where you have to bring your A game. All right. Mitchell Robinson out. Kevin Mueller is out as well for the Boston Celtics. Neemias Queta, game time decision, and Xavier Tillman is out. All right. So looking at these two teams here, they've already played twice already this season. And both of those were blowouts by the Boston Celtics, and the Knicks allowed 130 points in both of those games. All right, Celtics are red hot, winning 4 out of the last 5. Knicks are in the middle, winning 3 out of the last 5. So if we look at those two earlier games here, we have the Celtics cover, Celtics win, and the over 221.5. The second game was Celtics win, Celtics cover, and the over 230.5. So the total kept rising, and now it's set at 231 points. If the Knicks are going to have an opportunity to keep this game close, they're going to have to play defense. So I think that the Knicks was going to slow down the tempo and force more of a grinded out type of game against the Boston Celtics here. All right, it's the third time. You're going to have to change the narrative here. I like the under 231.5 points in this particular game. They can definitely do so, especially if we get Anunoby and Josh Hart back. For the point spread, we have everyone absolutely against this Knicks team here. That's why you see 91% and 88%. That's when it gets to scary territory, especially when it's a line that is not above 10 points. This is a team that's still number 3 in the East. I think this is way too many points here. I think the Knicks respond back from their embarrassing performance from the Cavaliers, Knicks plus 8.5, and the under 231.5. In Chase Center here, we have the Golden State Warriors 29-27 going up against the Dallas Mavericks 31-26. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, we have the Warriors at home minus 325 on the money line with the comeback of the Mavericks at a plus 260. Point spread at an 8.5. Very same line here as we've seen with the Celtics and the Knicks. This is a little bit different here, all right? Total points here at 230.5. Looking at the public bet percentage here, 83% of the bets, 81% of the money towards the Golden State Warriors. For the point spread, 63% of the bets, 59% of the money on the side of Dallas. So we have public and sharps are looking at Dallas since they've been red hot as of late to cover this number, all right? Total points, 83% of the bets, 85% of the money coming in on the over 230.5. Looking at the injury report here for these two teams, we already know Dallas Mavericks are dealing with a ton of issues. No Daniel Gafford, no Anthony Davis, no Derek Lively. Dwight Powell's a game-time decision. PJ Washington's a game-time decision. And Caleb Martin is a game-time decision as well. The only out for the Warriors is Jonathan Kuminga. He's going to be coming back very, very soon as well, all right? So these two teams have already played 3 times already. This is the 4th and final matchup here. And right now, the Dallas is leading the season series 2-1, all right? Golden State got shocked in that game last week, right before All-Star break, losing 107-111 here. And now you have the Dallas Mavericks with a little confidence, a 3-game winning streak, and winning 4 out of their last 5 games. This is a little bit of a different story here. The Golden State Warriors are on an absolute warpath right now. The combination of Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, to go alongside the cast and characters that they have, this is a very, very dangerous team, and this is the total opposite of that Celtics and Knicks game here. Dallas is playing over their heads, and this is a clear spot. I love the Warriors across the board. Give me the Warriors to cover the 8.5, and give me the over on 230.5 as well. I think the Warriors are going to put up a big number in this particular game. In Gainbridge Fieldhouse here, we have the Indiana Pacers 31-23 going against the LA Clippers 31-24. Looking at the current odds for this game here, we have the Pacers as minus 160 on the money line with the comeback of the Clippers at a plus 135. Point spread at a 3.5. Total points at 231.5. Looking at the full game public bet percentage, 67% of the bets and money towards the Pacers to win on the money line. And for the point spread, 59% of the bets, 71% of the money on the side of the Pacers here to cover the number at 3.5. For the total points, 86% of the bets, 88% of the money towards the over 231.5. Looking at the injury report here for these two teams, the Clippers, they're dealing with some major issues here. Norman Powell and Kawhi Leonard are both game-time decisions. If we dig a little bit deeper here, for Kawhi Leonard, he's not only dealing with a knee issue, as you can see in this article, he's also dealing with a sore left foot and is questionable to play. Sunday's game is the first of 2, so they're going to have a back-to-back here, and as many nights, making it likely that Kawhi will either sit against the Pacers or against the Pistons. As for Powell, he did not play in Thursday's loss to the Bucks, resulting in Amir Coffey moving into the starting lineup. So you really got to wait on Norman Powell and Kawhi Leonard. So definitely stay to the side here on both of them. For the Pacers, James Johnson is out and Isaiah Jackson is out for this season. All right. For the Pacers here, they already played earlier in the season. That was an outright win. They covered the number there at plus 5.5, and the total went over 230.5. So looking at these two teams, trying to go with the total went to over 231.5. You got Pacers at home in an up-tempo spot here, and I think that this total is going to go over yet again. All right. Clippers has been running a very good offense here, putting up 120, 128, and 130 in 3 out of their last 5 games. And plus, we know the type of basketball that the Pacers run. I love the over in 231.5, and I'm going with the Pacers to complete the season sweep. All right, so give me the Pacers on the money line and the over 231.5. In Kia Center here, we have the Orlando Magic 28-30 going up against the Washington Wizards 9-46. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, Magic are huge home favorites, minus 700 on the money line, with the comeback of the Wizards at a plus 500, point spread at a 12.5, and total points at 216.5. Full game public bet percentage here, 90% of the bets, 59% of the money towards Orlando to win. So we have 41% of sharps coming in on Washington. Very interesting to see there. For the point spread, 58% of the bets, 57% of the money towards Washington to cover. So we got kind of like, I'm not saying public, but sharps are heavy on the side of the Wizards, okay? Total points here, 87% of the bets, 86% of the money towards the over 216.5. Looking at the injury report here for both of these teams, starting off with the Washington Wizards. They are dealing with Malcolm Brogdon being out and Marcus Smart being out. For the Orlando Magic, Jonathan Isaac is going to be a game time decision. Jalen Suggs is out and Moritz Wagner is out for the season. The other outs for Washington, Bilal Coulibaly is a game time decision. Chris Middleton is still out, and Alex Sarr, the rookie, is a game time decision. All right, so these two teams have already played earlier in the season. This is an in-division matchup here as well. In the first game, it went towards the Orlando Magic in a blowout fashion by 27 points in that game. All right, so Magic won, covered the 11.5, and the total went under 223.5. For this one here, I love the total of over 216.5. 4 out of the last 5 matchups, they have went over this number of 216.5. And in the last game, it was right at the number at 215. So these two love to put up points against each other. Not much offense as well. So give me the Magic to cover the number here on the point spread. I like this another blowout. And I like the over 216.5. In Rocket Arena here, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers at 46-10 going against the Memphis Grizzlies 37-19. This is a premier matchup here. Looking at the odds for this game, Cavs minus 200 on the money line with the comeback of the Grizzlies at a plus 165. Point spread at a 4.5. Total points at 248.5. Full game public bet percentage here, 91% of the bets, 85% of the money all over Cleveland. For the point spread, 90% of the bets, 93% of the money all over Cleveland. As you can see, public and sharps all over the Cavaliers. That's going to be like that like each and every game. Doesn't matter what the opponent is. For the total points, 54% of the bets, 56% of the money towards the under 248.5. These teams have not played so far yet this season. And looking at the injury report, no injuries for Memphis, but for Cleveland, Darius Garland is a game time decision and Jarrett Allen is a game time decision. So they're going to have to wait on news for 2 of their key guys here in this offense for the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right. In this particular matchup, I'm going to start off with the total. The total is entirely way too high, extremely too high. 248. I advise you right now, this is my number 1 play on the whole entire slate, under 248.5. In the last 5 matchups between these two teams, this is a duke it out back and forth type of, not duke it out back and forth, duke it out in defensive type of environment here. So the last 5 matchups, all of them have gone under 248. All right, we had a 216, a 229, a 241, a 209, and then a 208. So very low totals here between these two teams. Expect a defensive matchup in this one here, especially with Memphis. So give me the under 248.5 and give me the Grizzlies to cover this number at 4.5. I'll take the points here with the Grizzlies. Everyone's saw that butt kicking that the Cavs gave the New York Knicks here. This is the Memphis team here that doesn't play any games. They show up each and every day here. And this is a game that's going to be very, very tightly contested, like the plus 4.5 with the Grizzlies and the under 248.5. In Smoothie King Center here, we have the New Orleans Pelicans 13-43 going up against the San Antonio Spurs 24-30. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, we have the Spurs and the Pelicans that are pretty much a pick 'em here. Spurs are road favorites, minus 115 with the comeback of the Pelicans at a minus 105. Point spread at that 1.5 and total points at 239.5. Public bet percentage here, 50-50 on the money line for both sides, but we have 75% of the money towards the Spurs here. All the sharps are over on the San Antonio Spurs. For the point spread, 50-50 split yet again on the cover, but we have 57% of the money. Sharps are on the Spurs to cover that 1.5 yet again. For the total points, 61% of the bets and 52% of the money towards the over 239.5. Looking at the injury report here for these two teams, obviously horrible news for the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama is out for the year with the blood clot, and Riley Minix is out for the season as well. For the New Orleans Pelicans, Brandon Boston is out, Herbert Jones is out for the season, and DeJounte Murray is out for the season. So both of these teams here are dealing dealing with major issues on both sides of the ball here. In this particular matchup, these teams have already played earlier this season. That game went to the Spurs on the money line. The Pelicans covered the 7.5, and the total went over 223.5. All right, so for this one here, looking at this matchup between these two teams, this is a back-to-back. They're going to play on Sunday and they're going to play on Monday here, but I'm going to be going with the underdog. All right, so give me the home dog here in the Pelicans. I kind of liked how they've been playing as of late, despite the fact that it's been against the same team. All right, really, they faced the Sacramento Kings 3 times. But they played strong against that Dallas team and came up short at the end. And then they got blown out by OKC. They didn't show up at all in that one. But we've seen some solid basketball from the Pelicans. Spurs haven't been that impressive as well. They got blown out by Detroit, Boston, and lost a close game to Orlando. All right, so these two teams here, I think, is pretty evenly matched here with all the injuries. I'm going to be going in this first matchup with the Pelicans on the money line, or just give me the point spread at +1.5 for the total. It's been inflated because of the opponents that the Pelicans have been playing. They faced Sacramento 3 times, not in a row, but 3 times in 5 games. And that defense there in the Sacramento Kings is non-existent on both sides of the ball. So not much defense for the Pelicans and not much defense for Sacramento. And they had some really high totals in that game and in the game against OKC. I think it's way too high here in this particular spot at the 239.5. They have not reached this total here in 4 out of their last 5 games. All right, so only 1 game against the Spurs and the Pelicans have gone over 239.5. All the other ones have fallen under that number. So give me the Pelicans +1.5, but my number 1 play is the under 239.5. Last but not least, here in Pfizer Forum, we have the Milwaukee Bucks 31-24 going up against the Miami Heat 26-28. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, Bucks at home -190 with the comeback of the Heat at a +155. Point spread at a 4.5. Total points at 221.5. Public bet percentage here, 86% of the bets, 91% of the money all over Milwaukee. For the point spread, 76% of the bets, 85% of the money towards Milwaukee to cover that 4.5. And for the total points here, we have 82% of the bets and 83% of the money towards the over 221.5. Looking at the injury report here for these two teams, Miami Heat dealing with some issues. Tyler Hero, game time decision. Kevin Love is out. Isaiah Stevens is out. And Drew Smith is out for the season. For the Milwaukee Bucks, Taurean Prince is a game time decision. Damian Lillard is a game time decision. Gary Trent Jr. is a game time decision. Pat Connaughton is out. And Giannis Antetokounmpo is a game time decision as well. All right. These two teams have already played twice this season, and both of those games have gone to the Milwaukee Bucks. So this is a double revenge narrative here for the Miami Heat. In the first one, Bucks were underdogs. They won. They covered the +5.5, and the total went under 222.5. The second game, Bucks won at home, covered the 6.5, and it went under 224.5, and now they adjusted the line to 221. All right, this particular spot here, I love the over in this one. I think this is going to be a high-scoring environment. Bucks have been playing horrible defense as of right now, and I think the Heat are going to step up in this high-tempo spot and put up some points here. So I love the over 221.5. For the point spread, I think the Heat, at least, we're going to play it safe. Give me the +4.5 points here. Third matchup here, they already facing Tice. Got embarrassed once of those games, and the Bucks have been very inconsistent as well. I think the value is on the side of the Miami Heat, +4.5, and the over 221.5. Those are going to be our selections for our slate on Sunday. Let me know in that comment section down below if you agree or disagree. We can definitely debate about that down below. Also, if you want to sign up for the Patreon and get connected to the community that we're building right now, click on that link. You're getting access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group channel that goes off 24/7. This your boy, Chef D. I'll be back very soon. Peace out.